Hello, and thank you for joining us for another edition of Corporate College Career Interviews. I'm Ashley Speaker. Thank you for joining us for another round of career interviews. I'm joined today by Lindsay Larson. She is the Director of Environmental Health, Safety, and Security at Babcock & Wilcox. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Hi, thank you, Ashley. It's great to be here.
Yeah, we really appreciate you being here to give us your in-depth knowledge about this career. This kind of falls along the line of those quality and continuous improvement careers. So when you think about your career in this area, what led you to this path, this career field? Did you always see yourself in it? How did you get here?
Actually, no, I never saw myself as the director, at least not at the onset when I started down my own path and my own journey. When I was in high school, I took a liking to biology. So I had this fascinating interest in earth sciences, environmental science, specifically biology. So when I was searching out colleges and majors, I decided at that time it must be environmental science. I want to do something with the planet Earth. So I did end up going to Ashland University, and I did study environmental science with a concentration in biology.
Oh,
And
cool.
I thought at the time that I was likely to maybe go work for a government agency, or perhaps I was going to end up working for a nonprofit agency. And actually, it was just through a course of events where I ended up interning at the research and development division for Babcock and Wilcox. It really opened me up into, just basically opened things up entirely in a whole new field of environmental health and safety. So I realized that there was a whole lot more to this area than just environmental science. So though I started my career doing compliance-based work, I actually took a liking to the occupational health and safety side as well, because I had an opportunity to be around people and to influence people and make sure that they ended up going home at the end of the day without any injury.
Wow. So, I think what you're said a lot to like unpack and all of that. But, first of all, if you're a student and you have an opportunity to do an internship, what a great way to explore a field that maybe you never considered before, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. And in fact, it's interesting because the internship, I had two lined up, and one was to work for the National Audubon Society
Oh,
down
wow.
the path of a sort of an environmental education path. And then this just landed in my lap, and I decided, I think I might take this one instead. It was a little bit closer to home, and I'm really glad I did, because it opened up my eyes to an entirely different avenue.
That is really cool. So, once you got your foot in the door that way, did you find that you needed any type of like credentialing or any type of certifications to kind of help you on your journey?
So yeah, actually, I elected to pursue a master's degree. So I did pursue a master's degree in environmental health and safety management, and that really helped give me a different set of skills that were outside of the technical skill set that I already had. In addition to that, there are some additional certifications that I personally have. One is CHMM; it's a Certified Hazardous Materials Manager, but there are several other certifications that individuals could acquire too, depending on which field of EH&S they're interested in. So pursuing your education more formally and then doing your certifications definitely helps.
Awesome. What surprised you the most when you got into this field?
I think it was the breadth of opportunity, realizing that I could focus very narrowly on something like environmental compliance, or I could take a step back and think much more bigger and globally and help set strategy for organizations that really want to be best in class when it comes to environmental health and safety performance.
That's really cool. So I was actually helping out with a strengths class today, and we talked a lot about people that strategize the analysis. Do you find that those skills and maybe some other personal traits help you in this field?
Absolutely. And I think it takes time to build that skill set too. And that's why having a mentor can really help you in that area. Somebody that that's been around the block many times and can sit down with you and say, hey, that's a good idea. Or maybe let's take another look at something a little bit different. But yeah, they definitely don't always come naturally, and you do need to work at them, but it's that softer skill set that's really going to help you excel.
What challenges do you think that this field, offers for people? Some people like a challenge. There's some exciting challenges, but maybe to other things that maybe you didn't expect that maybe were a little harder for you in the industry.
Absolutely. So I think traditionally this industry has been dominated by men. And in many companies, the role that I currently have is occupied by a man. So being a female with a technical background and then rising up through that corporate ladder, it was a challenge. It can be difficult, but I think you stick to your guns and you know what you want to do and you just keep moving forward and you'll get there. Don't give up. I mean, it can be very easy to give up sometimes, and especially with environmental health and safety. You really need to have some good influencing skills, and you're working with many people at all layers of an organization. And sometimes that can be really hard because you're trying to influence people to do certain things, whether it's for the benefit of the company or because you know it's the right thing to do, and they're not responding the way you want. That can be a challenge and you might want to give up, but don't do that. Just stick with it.
Yeah, I imagine that sometimes getting buy-in from other individuals who don't always understand the environmental impact or the health impacts of different processes can be tricky sometimes.
It absolutely can, but I think that's what helps challenge me and push me and motivate me, because I know that that I'll get them. I can convince them that there is good there. So yeah, absolutely.
That's awesome. So you're a director. So do you work with like a team of individuals? Are there typically teams that work on these projects?
So I do. I have a team, and we're broken out by business segment for the organization. So I do have individuals that report to me all the way from Denmark. So I have people
Wow.
from across the big pond that report to me, as well as individuals that report to me right here within the U.S. So yeah, I have a good team, and having a good team is definitely key to success.
That's amazing. And you spoke about the importance of finding a mentor. Did you have mentors along the way that really helped you?
I did. And in fact, when I was a student, I took some time out to do some old-fashioned cold calling. And I reached out to an individual who was an environmental affairs manager at the time. And I asked her if she had 30 minutes at lunch just to sit down with me. And I was very fortunate in that she agreed. And I went to her office and I just sat down, and she was, I would say she's probably the first mentor that I had, in the sense that she helped affirm the path that I was on and what I wanted to do. And, from that point on, then as I built my career, individuals that I had worked for, whether they were my direct supervisor or other colleagues, they helped mentor me along the way as well.
That's
So I think it's
great.
about building that positive relationship with someone that you trust and they trust you. You'll get the best out of that.
I love that, especially you bringing that up. That was something for me in my own journeys, completely different career path that really helped, was finding someone who either had walked those ranks or maybe was in a position that I was looking to move towards, to just find that person to bounce ideas off of, talk to, maybe not even in my department. That way it had that different perspective for me.
Yes, absolutely. You definitely don't want to become siloed in your own thoughts.
So, what are your recommendations for someone who's like, I'm thinking about quality, how do I know if it's for me? What types of things should I be looking into?
So, see if you can shadow somebody in the field. I think that would be advantageous. Maybe it's not just a formal internship where you're devoting your summer or a semester, but just ask if you could spend a couple days with the individual, seeing exactly what it is that they do. Try to hone down what it is you're interested in. For me, like I said, it was environmental affairs, but you could be interested in a more traditional occupational safety route, an industrial hygiene route, even engineering. All of these are technical backgrounds that will help you in an EH&S role. But yeah, definitely try to shadow somebody. I think that could help you maybe fine tune what it is that you're looking for.
Awesome. Well, Lindsay, thank you so much for being here. This was a great conversation. I appreciate all your insights.
Well, thank you for having me. It's been my pleasure.
Yeah. All right. And if you're interested to talk more about a career in this area or find out some more from our experts, please visit corporatecollege.com and reach out to us. Thank you so much and have a great day.